Hey everyone, it's May 15th, Friday, Travel Agent Helping Each Other Facebook group, and later we will post this on our YouTube channel as well. Today we are going to talk about rewards, credit cards. In general, I saw we'll say the subject was a little popular, so hopefully we'll get a lot of people. I have a special guest with me today. We have Amy.
Hi,
Hey, Amy.
everyone.
Hey, um, Amy, can you give us a little bit of intro about yourself, about your business, travel?
So my name is Amy Leone. I've been in business about 6 years. I am focused. I live in the Bronx in New York, and I focus a lot on destination weddings, romance travel, and groups. So that's where the bulk of my business is, and then I do a little FITs and some other stuff in between.
Cool. And you're also hosted with TPI, right?
Yep,
Travel planners. Okay,
I've been
cool.
TPI the whole
Cool.
6 years.
Okay, awesome. We're gonna give people a little bit chance to come up to join us. I am also going to post a link. We talked about it. It's a link that actually allows us, me and Amy, to see who is actually talking and not just a Facebook user. So I'm going to plug the link here. You can click on it. You only need to do it once within the group. Once you put it in, we'll be able to see your name. We can put your information. Let's see. I see Michelle is online. I see Kim is online. If you have more, I see people are looking for our session. Hey, Colleen. So this is the link. I just posted it. Uh, Click on it. It will give us an option because if you are not clicking on the link, this is what we see. We see Facebook user, hello, and if it's a user that we know, that's the name and his comment. So his or her. So click on the link. We'll see who's there, and I won't have to move from one screen to another. Will make my life easier eventually when we do these sessions. Um, Hi, Catherine. We have about 16 people right now on the line. So yeah, cool. Wonderful. So I wanted to do the session. Some of my, we'll call it passions, are travel and apparently credit cards too. Amy seems to share that passion. Amy, do you want to start, like, in general, why are you collecting these piece of plastic?
So I only have credit cards that are related to travel. I've started with some different other ones that had other perks. Across the board, like Roy and I had discussed, we are not suggesting that anybody run out and get tons of credit cards and build up credit card debt. I pay my credit cards in full every month, but I make sure that I'm maximizing the perks that come with them. So I have a Delta Amex Reserve. I have a Hilton Honors American Express, and then I also have a JetBlue MasterCard. It used to be a Visa, but now they've switched over to MasterCard.
Right. So again, to emphasize, we don't recommend that you guys go and take out even one card. The only reason, only if you have the capability to pay that credit card in full at the end of the month, once you get the statement. Some even will pay it before they get the statement. We can touch about that if you guys want to, in terms of actual, credit score. But in general, only if you pay your card in full each and every month. This is um, a way for you to actually game the system, or make some profit on the reward, the multipliers. Because even if you make the best award possible, 10% cash back, if you are not paying your credit card in full, you can pay 16-20% APR on your balance. So it doesn't make any sense. The only way it makes sense that if you pay your cards in full.
Right.
Just to know, like, the terminology, when you take a credit card, there's a sign up bonus when you start the card, and then you have the multipliers, meaning how much will you get per dollar that you spend on a specific category or in general. And normally I like to split the calculation into first year of the credit card and then the following years of the credit card. And I'm sure Amy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So Amy, talk about a little bit about like sign up. What are sign up bonuses?
So many times when you have a credit card that is a travel credit card specifically, they have sign up bonuses. If it's a airline credit card, you'll wind up with bonus miles. So I know when I had first signed up for the Delta American Express, it was like 75,000 bonus miles after you spend $3,000 within your first 3 months. And one of the great ways to maximize how to get these points is by paying all of your bills that are possible through your credit card. And then, like Roy had said, paying them off at the end of the month. If you're somebody that doesn't want to track, such a huge bill at the end of the month, you can make multiple payments throughout the month, charge $100, pay $100. That way you're not seeing, a $5,000 bill at the end of the month.
Right. So I would say even before, if you want to get into the credit card business, even if it's just one card, you need to decide what you want to accumulate. Because you can accumulate miles in terms of airline miles, you can accumulate points with hotels, and you can do cashback. Cashback meaning just you get your money back as a statement card, as a statement or gift cards, and it's pretty much cash. I can tell you that the cashback cards are normally the ones where you make the least, because cash is king. You make more money. People value maybe money more than they value airline miles or points. So normally cash is worth a little bit less, again, because that's what people want. But there are cash cards. There are cards that will give you 1.5%, 2% back as a statement credit on almost all of your transactions. I will say that the minimum that you ever want to accept as a bonus for your transactions is 1%, 1 cent per mile or 1 cent per point. That's the bare minimum that you need to accept when you're charging $1 on your card. And we can show you options how you can make a lot more, 5 times, 10 times, 12 times more on each dollar that you charge, again, depending on your preference. Let's see if anyone has any. Oh, Susan, I see that you were able to come in. Oh, perfect. That's what I like. Catherine clicked on the link and now we can see the name. So Catherine is saying that she, let's see, having an airline credit card so she can check a bag for free, get higher boarding zone. Yes, I'll actually show you. I created a quick Excel later once we go over, so I can show you a few of my cards that I have in terms of what's the sign up bonus, what you get in terms of multipliers and the benefits. Amy, start with the cards that you have. What are the cards again that you have?
So I have the Delta Reserve Amex. I have the Hilton Honors Amex. And then I have the JetBlue MasterCard.
Okay. So Hilton, Delta, and JetBlue.
Yep.
Okay. Any other cards that you use on, or these are like, do you have like a main card?
My Delta card is my primary.
Your primary.
I have a Wyndham Rewards card that I just keep in the background. It was before JetBlue had switched over to MasterCard. I needed a card that wasn't an American Express for travel. That also didn't have foreign transaction fees, because that's huge, especially with us being in travel.
Okay. And Catherine, a good point. There are two different cards. There's a personal card and there's a business card. And the advantage of a business card is that the amount that you charge doesn't really fall on your personal credit. So you are allowed. You can, if I use a lot on my personal card. And get a statement, that amount goes to my personal credit score. And if I do it as a business, then it wouldn't affect. There are really good cards for business and personal. These are different products, and you are allowed to have one for your personal, one for your business. You don't have to physically, technically have a business to qualify for a business credit card. You can do it as a sole proprietor, meaning write your name as the business. So yeah, you could do a business card, and you can do a personal card. Um, there was also one more thing. Oh, now again, the cards also, there are cards that have annual fees, and there are cards that are free, no annual fee whatsoever. There are also, we'll call them the premium cards, the cards that actually have a quite high maintenance fee or annual fee, but they also have tons of perks. And I can show you what, it really depends if the perks are good for you. And if they are, then you can clearly benefit from it, and even a $550 annual fee is, you'll see that it's really worth your while if you're using the perks. So Amy, let's start with your and again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to post them. What's the best card to start? There are cards that are good. Most of the rewards, the really good ones, we'll call them, need a higher credit score. If you have a credit score of 600, you might not qualify for the Amex Platinum or the Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve. But there are cards, free cards, that you can start and go from there. I will normally shift my card, so I will have maybe 5, 6 active. Some I will stop using, either move them to change the product to a card that doesn't have an annual fee, but just keep them, because the length of the time of the credit card that you have also affects your credit. And we can have a session about credit score if people want to. So Amy, I'm hogging the screen. Go ahead.
Fine. So which one do you want me to start with?
JetBlue.
Okay. So the JetBlue MasterCard, they have one with an annual fee and one without. I happen to have the one without the annual fee because I found that I was doing more flying on Delta than JetBlue. The nice thing about it is that it doesn't have the foreign transaction fees, which, if you aren't clear on, it's when you're in a country making purchases, or even if you're purchasing something from being in the US, but you're using a business that's in Mexico or just another country. So with that, the perk is that you get double the miles to the dollar when you're purchasing anything with JetBlue. So any flights, and then any baggage fees, all of that is double. And when you're on the plane, any purchases that you make, whether it's food or alcohol, those are at 50% off, but you get a statement credit for that. So it's not an actual discount at the time of swiping.
Do you get free bag?
You don't, which is why it's not my primary card.
Okay. And that card, that's the free one, or that's the one with the fee? The free one. Okay. Okay. So you do need to decide, again, when you're picking a card, even if you say, I like to fly a lot, which I assume most of us like to fly, pick the airline, because as you can see, she has a JetBlue and a Delta, so she operates in that. Where are you based, Amy?
I fly out of JFK.
JFK. So we normally fly out of Newark. So for me, you'll see a lot of United. You'll see a United credit cards. So Lauren is asking, if a credit card doesn't charge foreign transaction fee, how do you know they aren't charging a higher rate of exchange? The exchange is actually based on the bank. So if you have a Citi or you have Chase, for the most part, they have an exchange rate. And I can also, I mean, from my experience, when charging, US dollar is pretty easy. You can always ask for a quote in US dollars. Again, if it's a supplier or something, when you get a quote in US dollars, then it doesn't really matter. You just won't be hit with a 3%. Let's say you're charging Mexico, they'll quote you in US dollars anyway. Now, if you're getting quotes in euro, yeah, you got to check it out. But normally, even with a 3% exchange that they have, if a card has a 3% foreign exchange, they also have an exchange for, so you are paying the conversion from euro to US dollars plus 3%.
Right.
So it's always better to have a card that doesn't charge any foreign transaction fee. Again, you just got to make sure what your needs are with the cards. And again, as I will show you at the end, hopefully I can prove it to you guys that there is no one perfect card. So you have to have a combination of a few cards if you really want to maximize it. Now, if it's too hard for you, if you don't want to, you want to still go with one card, yeah, you can do that. 1, 2 cards. But know that you are leaving money on the table, as as we say. So again, JetBlue, anything on JetBlue is double the points. No baggage fee. No, that I mean,
They don't offer.
you don't get any perks in terms of baggage. 50% in a statement for onboard charges, and no foreign transaction fee. I think we said it. So what's the next card?
So my favorite is the Delta Reserve. I will tell you that I started out with the Delta Gold, then I went to Platinum, then I went to Reserve. Had I done more of the research in the very beginning, because I've been with American Express since 2000, had I done the research, I would have just started with the Reserve. So the biggest difference is the annual fee. So with the Reserve, just as of 2020, I pay $550 as an annual fee. And I know when people first hear that, it's like a throat punch, because you think of how much money that is. But I've actually tracked it to see and make sure that I'm getting the benefit, and I am. So with the Delta Reserve card and also with the Delta Platinum, you get 1 free companion ticket every time you pay your annual fee. So for example, we just used it. We used our credit for last year for flights to Seattle, and they were $504. So you only pay the taxes on that. It was about $26 in taxes. So if you look at that, I've already made up most of the annual fee in just that 1 ticket. And what I like about the Reserve is that with that companion ticket, it's not just on main cabin, it goes all the way up to first class. So if you buy a first class ticket, you get a first class companion ticket for free.
Is it just domestic?
Yes, it's the continental US.
Okay.
For that, yep, absolutely. And then Delta does offer free baggage, so it's for you and up to 8 people on the same PNR.
So one bag, round trip.
One bag, yep, round trip. So that's a $60 savings per person. And what happens with that too is a lot of times, even if you're traveling with other friends or families that are on separate PNRs, when you get to the airport, a lot of times you can get the people to just push through their bags on your card. You get free Delta Sky Club.
And that one is what, around $450 annual, probably. Yeah. That's access to all Delta Club in the world. Sometimes partners as well, Sky Team, right?
Yep. And then they also added this year with the Reserve free access to the Amex Centurion lounges. That's new for this year.
Okay. You get Centurion as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. All right. It's an Amex. Okay, so it's an Amex Delta Reserve.
Amex,
yeah. Now these fees, the whatever the fees are, annual fees, if you utilize them for the business, even if it's a personal card, but you use it for the business, you can deduct the expense as a bank fee.
Right.
It's much easier if you do it as a business card versus a personal. But if you can use a personal card for all your business expenses, just try and make it easy in terms of, so you won't have any issues, because at the end of the year, when you get like the year statement and all the categories, it's a lot easier if you don't split and you charge supermarket and airline tickets or something. Just try and separate it. It will make it easier, but it doesn't. There's no law that says that you can't. It's just, again, it'll just make it a lot easier. So we said Delta Reserve. How many points do you get when you charge a Delta?
It's 2 points on Delta. they've made a lot of changes recently because of COVID. So now they're offering 4 points on supermarkets temporarily, but normally that's 1. And it's anything Delta. So even if you're booking Delta vacations, you get the points with Delta vacations as well. So a lot of times, I'll book myself through Delta vacations and still use the Delta credit card so that I'm getting, the miles everywhere.
Okay. Do you get, now, when you signed up, you got a bonus. I don't remember what it was, 50, 70, 100,000.
I think with the Delta it was 70 or 75,000
Okay.
SkyMiles.
So think about it. When you sign up, this is, let's say, first year for Amy. This is a $550 annual fee card. Some of them are even waived for the first year, but let's say it's not. It's $550 you pay for the first statement. You get 75,000 points, which, let's say realistically, it's maybe 2 tickets, domestic tickets, maybe 1. But you're looking at, let's say, $400 as a value, for the ticket. Maybe probably even more, but let's say 400 on the low value. You get the free companion. Do you get it on the first year or only when you renew?
All the companion, no, at your annual renewal.
Annual. So that doesn't go into the first year. But but let's say again we spent $550 and we got 75,000 points, which again, let's say 400. So technically, you're only paying about 100, 150 fee a year. Now you're traveling, you're taking a bag, you're saving $30 per direction. That's 60. You flew twice, maybe took another person with you, maybe you're not traveling alone. That's it. You covered your fee. You stayed at the lounge. I don't know how you value lounge access. You could be, normally it's like $50, but let's say you value $15 or $20 because you get a drink, you get something to eat, you just rest there, you charge your phone, $10, $15 each way, even on arrival. Not a problem to utilize that 550. You can get much more than $550 as value. And remember that every dollar that you spent with Delta, you get the points. So that, again, if you are using another card, it doesn't give you points or gives you less points. Yeah, that's pretty much, again, with the benefits for that card. Now, Delta Reserve, do you get points towards status?
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to mention. That is huge. Once you spend over $25,000 a year or more, the way Delta does their status is on MQMs and I think it's MDMs. So what happens is $25,000 on the card clears you for having to spend the money on the flights. So if you didn't do the $25,000 and you were just doing it based on Delta flights, it's $9,000 in Delta purchases in order to hit platinum. Whereas with the credit card, that's taking out the cost of having to buy the actual tickets. And then, so I've been able to hit my very first year with the card, I hit silver without even doing major flying. Last year I hit gold for 2020. But even when I was silver, and this is huge, I tracked it because I wanted to make sure that I was getting the value. I flew Delta 11 times in 2019, and I was upgraded on every single flight. So once you hit silver, you qualify for free upgrades, and it's all the way to first class. So it broke it down to about half. Half was first class upgrades and half were comfort plus for me and a guest in both directions.
So figure out how you value that perk. Can be, $15.99 for a better seat, or even $500 for a first class upgrade. And if you are charging, we are not talking about manufacturing any expenses. You are spending that money anyway. You go to the supermarket, you pay your car payment, and I don't know if car payments, but maybe insurance, whatever you actually pay. There are ways to pay car payments and even mortgage and everything with credit cards, but I'm not even talking about that because I consider that manufactured expense, and that has a fee. But in general, anything that you regularly purchase for your business, you bought a computer, you pay an internet, whatever, phone bill, use these rewards cards that fit your needs, what you want to earn, and then you'll see the perks.
For sure.
So um, do you have another card? You said you have the JetBlue, you have the Delta Reserve, another
The
one,
Hilton Honors one.
the
That
Hilton
was
Honor.
the very first American Express that was, with a brand. I was a Hilton girl, so I got the Hilton credit card. And what I love about that is that you maintain your diamond status. I have had the one that had an annual fee, but once I went to a 550 fee with Delta, I knocked that out just because it didn't make sense to pay these huge fees. But maintaining diamond with with Hilton, sorry, was nice because you get the free complimentary upgrades on all of your room stays based on availability. You get access to the lounges, even if you're in the basic room and you're not on an executive floor. And I've racked up. I mean, I showed you the other day. We just took points out to stay in Sydney next year, but I'm over 1.5 million points.
So keep the diamond side. How many points? It's high. Hotel multipliers are high. So what,
Yeah.
six or eight? How much do you get per dollar?
I think I'm at 6 now, and I think the paid credit card, like the one with the annual fee, is 8.
Okay. Yeah. Hotel points tend to be worth less in general, because you spend, let's say, 25,000 points or 50,000 points per night. So it's again, you'll see pages out there, websites that actually will tell you how much each Ultimate Rewards, American Express point, Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, each point has a valuation. Again, it depends on you, what your preferences are. But hotel points normally tend to be worth less. That's why if you are using the Hilton card, what's the name? Aspire? No, what's the name of the card?
They changed it. I think it is Aspire. I always
All
get
right.
that confused with Ascend.
Yeah. So if, let's say you have the Hilton Aspire, you want to charge it only on the ones that will give you more than 1 point. Because if you are getting only that 1 point per one Hilton point per dollar, you're that will be less than the 1 cent per point that I've mentioned at the beginning. Catherine is asking, can you lose your status if you don't use the card or fly for a while? This, Amy.
So yes, what happens is you don't lose your miles. So with Delta, your miles never expire, but you do have to requalify for your status every year. So they take into account what you're spending on the card as well as what you're flying. But you get boosts for every 15,000 that you spend. On the card, you get as points, and they'll boost you 4 times a year. So if you're spending about 25,000 a year, you're automatically going to hit the silver status, even if you're not flying a ton, but you do have to requalify every year.
Right. It's the same as in any airline or a hotel qualification. You have to qualify each year. Normally, once you hit the account, let's say you hit it in now May, you will qualify for 2021 up until maybe January or February of 2022. So you get this year and the following year as status. So you have another year or more to qualify. What I will do in some of the cards, once I hit that 25 or again, whatever the amount is, and I'll show you some of the cards, I stop. So once I hit that $100,000, $270,000 in spent a year, I just stop, put the card in a drawer, and then continue on the next card. Okay, so Heather is asking or mentioning regarding the Southwest card. I'm not in the Southwest market. I don't think Amy is in the Southwest market. But yes, figure out again, if you're collecting for points, for airline miles, see the airline that you are utilizing the most. Southwest, what the main key feature that they have is if you reach a certain point, first you get the A status, but in addition you get a companion pass, and that companion pass, same as Amy mentioned, but it's not a one-time thing. It's a yearly annual companion pass. Once you hit that point, any person that you take that travels with you round trip is free. It's higher. It's not, you have to reach an X amount. I don't, again, I'm not in the Southwest market. but it's also, if I'm not mistaken, a Chase card. Figure that out if it's good for you. I would probably recommend it if you're in that market, because again, I'm using the United, Amy's using the Delta and JetBlue. So if you're in that market,
Talk about your
now,
United card, Roy.
sorry.
Talk about your United card.
I will, but also again, as you can see with Amy, she has the Amex, and she also has. I think you said the JetBlue is now Mastercard.
Mm-hmm.
I Yeah, I would probably recommend having. If you are focusing on Amex, I would also recommend that you have a Chase or a Mastercard or a Visa. If you are traveling out of the U.S., because sometimes they don't accept American Express.
Yep.
So United. Okay, so my United card is actually a club card. So it's the premium. They have multiple levels of this card. There's a card that has no annual fee whatsoever, and then you normally will get 1 United point per dollar. If you charge on United, you get 2 points. There is an upgraded card. I think they call it the Explorer, which has about a $95 annual fee, and it has perks like the first baggage. One suitcase is free, and then you get multipliers again, maybe two, and I think it's two for dining and travel right now, just right now. But normally it's dining and United charges, so it's times two. Remember, again, it's $95, but when you sign up for the first year, you will get a bonus. Normally it's 50, 60, 70. I'll show you the club now has 100,000. So 100,000 points. That can qualify to a business class into Europe. And that could be $5,000. So it really depends on how you utilize the points that you are getting. The United Club is, I think, a 550 right now. I got this one it was free for the first year, so I got it. I'm in my first year, so it was free. No, not a problem. No questions. And right now, I think you're getting. Let me see, because I wrote it down. You're getting 4. I'll show you. Let me share my screen. Let's see if people can see this. Showing stream, and let's do this. Yeah, so I hope you can see this. So these are not the actual cards that all of them that I have, but the United Club personal, I have the business one. When you get the sign up, just making sure people can actually see me. Yeah, I think they can. So when you sign up, you get 100,000 points. As I've mentioned, you can qualify with 100,000 points. If you are flexible, you can get first class air to Europe. And you guys know it's 3, 4, 5, can be even higher. You get four points for every United dollar you spend. Everything you spend on United, you get 2 on travel or dining, and then 1 on everything else. You get club access, which is normally around $450 or higher than that a year. 2 bags free per person if they're traveling in the same record with you. You get $100 as a global entry, and you also get premier access. So when you get premier access, you know how it is. Boarding group 1 or 2. Now, to get the bonus, you need to spend $5,000 within the first 3 months. Now, as you can see, I have other cards, and the one that I use pretty much, my primary card, we'll call it, is my Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is right now $550 annual fee. When you are signing up for it right now, you're getting 50,000 points if you spend $4,000 within the first 3 months. You get, now again, we say 500, 550, that's a lot of money, but you are automatically getting $300 travel credit. And if you have an American Express Platinum, you know that their credit is a little different. You have to pick the airline. It's only valid for certain things. This is $300 travel credit. You buy a train ticket, you buy an airline ticket, you stay at a hotel, you use Uber, anything that is travel related will just automatically deduct that expense. Anything, airline, doesn't matter where, what, Expedia, I don't know, cruise line, anything, $300 travel credit automatically every year. So that automatically takes it to $250. They used to give $100 towards the TSA program, the global entry. They don't offer that right now, but they do have other things. In terms of lounge access, they have the priority pass membership. Again, similar to the United Club and the Delta. They just have different memberships. I can tell you, for example, in Cancun, which I fly, and in Punta Cana, which I fly quite often, they don't have a United, they don't have a Delta, they don't have a Centurion. All they have is the ones that are priority pass memberships. So I use it quite often, and you can bring a companion with you, or even two. Minors come with. So normally we are a family of four. We get access to the lounge. Right now, you're getting $120 split into two. So from January until June is $60, and from June until December, until the end of the year, it's another $60 credit for DoorDash. So that's another 120. So easily 300 and 120. That's $420. Again, plus if you take this into consideration, first year it's not even a question. Now, their points, the way that it works with their points, you get ultimate rewards points. The ultimate rewards you can convert into statement credit or gift cards, normally at 1 cent per mile. But if you go to their, what they call the travel mall, their portal, and you use it on travel, you get 50% more. Your points are worth 50% more on the portal. And when I'm saying portal, it's, let's say you book travel. You can book air only. You can go there and book your tickets. So you got 50,000 points when you signed up. Normally, these are worth $500. When you use it on the portal, it's worth $750. So right off the bat, first year, yes, Amy?
That's a big difference.
It is. It's a huge difference. So right off the bat, first year, yes, you're getting hit with $550 as a fee, but automatically $300 credit. So the first charge you are going to do, let's say it's you're buying 4 or 5 airline tickets, each of them was $1,000. You automatically qualify because you get 50,000 points. You'll get $300 deducted, and you can move that $750 towards something. Yeah, they do give 10 points. Now, you also get 3 points on travel and dining. So you purchase a ticket that was $1,000, you get 3,000 points. The 3,000 points, when you use them on the portal, are worth 4,500. So you ultimately are getting 4.5% on each dollar that you spend on travel and dining. Okay, so it's not 1 point, it's 4.5. So for me, that's easy to explain, why I am keeping this card for 450. 550. I'm sorry. It was 450. They just increased the fee. Kim is saying that she has a similar thing with the United mileage plan. It's not their credit card. You can register any credit card. Yeah, they have. Yes, they have like a dining program that you can qualify and get some more points. Yes. Now let's talk about another card, and I'll show you how I combine it. So the Freedom card. Let's go back to, where is it? Let's go back to me. Where is it? Where am I? Okay, so this is the Freedom card. Okay, so the Chase Freedom Card. Freedom Card is free. It's a free card. Um, when you use it, they have what they call categories. When you sign up, there's no fee. There's no annual fee whatsoever. You get $200 once you hit a spend of 500. So the first month or within the first 3 months, you spend 500. You'll get a statement credit. You ultimately only paying $300. So you got $200 for free. Um, Now, they have what they called changing categories. For this specific quarter, grocery store, select streaming services, and I think gym memberships, which I didn't include because gyms are closed. And that's why I don't go to the gym this quarter. So grocery store and select streaming services, you get 5%, 5 ultimate rewards up to $1,500. So if you go to a supermarket and you charge $1,000 or $500, you get 5 points, which are pretty much, again, 1 point is 1 cent. So you're ultimately getting 5% cash back on these services. Now, these cards, the Freedom Card, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, are what they call an ultimate rewards partners. I can accumulate points on Freedom and move my Freedom points to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So if I go right now to the supermarket and I charge $1,000 and I'm getting 5,000 points, if I move the 5,000 points into my Chase Sapphire Reserve, I can then use them as 7,500 points. So with combining the Freedom and the Chase Sapphire Reserves gives me 7.5% back on these categories. Okay, so when you combine cards, you can make a lot more. Sometimes the categories can be gas. Sometimes it can be I don't even remember, dining. There's tons of, you could see it on the Chase Freedom websites, but the categories change. I spent $1,500, then put the card in my drawer, and that's pretty much it. Freedom also has another program. Again, no fee, gives you 1.5% on everything. Everything, no categories, no rolling categories, nothing, nothing, nothing. 1.5% on everything. Now, is it 1.5? Yes, as cash. But if you take the 1.5 and you transfer it into the portal, because you have the reserve, that's another 0.75. So you're getting 2.25. So if you are getting less than 2.25 on anything that you purchase, you are losing money. So it's not the 1 cent per mile. It should be 2.25. So 2.25. That's pretty much should be your bare minimum. So let's see. Don't forget, Chase Portal is for shopping as well. Yes, but you don't. You only get the 50% bonus on the air portal, their travel portal. So I would, again, because we make commission off hotels. So don't book hotels there because you're losing 10, 15, 20%. Use air only, flights only. That's what I use it for. Um, Heather has a tip. It's quite a long tip, so people will read it later. But in general, she's in a Delta market. Her preferred are Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Business Platinum American Express. Let's see. Yeah, you can sometimes points are worth it. Sometimes it's let me go back to the main screen. So sometimes it's worth it to use 25,000 points to get a ticket with United, transfer the points into United. Now, what you can do with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you can take the points, you can either use them in the portal. So let's say I have 50,000 points. I can take it and spend worth $750 worth of airline tickets. What you can also say, you can also take that 50,000 points and move them to a United card or a Hyatt card or a Hyatt point system or a Marriott point system, the Ultimate Rewards and the American Express points. Cards that are United or Hilton or Marriott, you're stuck with them. You're getting the points directly into that program. If you are getting something like the American Express Platinum, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you are getting these points into their pool. You can decide if you're using the pool for with American Express or with Chase, or you are transferring the points into Hilton, Marriott, British Airways, whatever, and utilizing it. Sometimes it's worth a lot more. Again, as I said, first class business class ticket to Europe with United can be 80,000 points, but it's not $800. So a first class ticket or business class ticket to Europe can be $4,000 or $5,000. With points, it can be only 80,000. So you have to make sure how you utilize it. And when you are using that 80,000 towards a business class ticket that is worth $3,000 or $4,000, just think of the multiplier. Think how much you are actually making. I've shown situations where I can make 12, 15, 20 cents per mile, meaning you get about 10 to 15%, 20% back on each dollar that you charge. Again, if you move it the right way. So Corey says, repeat please about the 2.5. I didn't say 2.5. I said 2.25, which is a two and a quarter. You use the Freedom, or sorry, you use the Freedom Unlimited, which gives you 1.5% on anything that you purchase. You move that 1.5 into Ultimate Rewards, and when you use it under the reserve in the portal, you get 50% extra. So that's 2.25. You need to have that combination of the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which costs $550 a year, and the Freedom Unlimited, which is free. If you don't want the Chase Sapphire Reserve, they have a lower product which is called the Chase Sapphire Preferred, which, if I'm not mistaken, is only $125 a year. Has some nice perks to it as well, not as much as the one that the higher one, but you're getting 25% extra. So Catherine is saying, can you please elaborate on when we were discussing the Chase shopping and you started to say we don't forget we get commissions? Well, if you book domestic air and you don't make money, we don't make commission most of the time on domestic air. So use the portal to use towards these types of purchases. I wouldn't purchase a hotel, a cruise, or even a transatlantic ticket using the points, because I can probably get commission or a bulk rate, or then I'm losing money. I have points there. They'll just sit there. I won't use them for now. I'll use them the next time. When you're moving points, let's say Chase has their own partners. So Chase will have, with Chase, you can move them to United. You can move them to British Airways, which is which is American Airlines, if you want to. You can move them to Hyatt. You can use them to Marriott. There's a full list of partners. Some work with American Express. Some work with Chase. Some work with Citibank, and some are together. There's another card that I know a lot of people like. We'll call it like the Capital. I know the Capital One, the Venture cards. They also offer. Their method is a little different. I actually like to recommend them for clients because the advantage is that you make 2 points for every dollar that you spend. It is 2, and then you can use the points to what they call erase the charge. So even if they purchase something from you as a travel agent, they purchased something with you, they can take the points that they have and just erase the expense. So they are ultimately getting 2% back on their spent. So it is a good card, but there are better cards in general. And I'm not a huge fan of the Capital One in general. Their credits are normally, they don't give you as much credit. I'm a huge user of credit cards. I have several businesses. I have a lot of spend that I'm using my cards. I probably charge a little over $1 million on my credit cards each year. So if I have a card that only gives me $10,000 as credit card, it's just not enough. I'll have to pay it several times a month. It's just not. I don't even want to deal with it. So I have another card that I like. I don't think I put it there. It's the American Express Cash. American Express Cash. It's a blue. It looks simple. It's really simple card. It has either no annual fee or $75 annual fee. What it gives you 6% cash back on groceries and 3% back on gas. So 6% on groceries, cash back up to $6,000 a year. So this is my primary card. Look, when I go to the supermarket, I'll use a card. If I have to stop somewhere and put gas, I'll use a different card. If I need to purchase travel, I'll use card C. If I need to spend it on something, I'll use card G. Um, so I have the Amazon card, which gives me 5% on everything Amazon, and it's plugged into my Amazon account. I don't touch it. We have the Target, the 5% for Target. It's there in the account. The only purchases I do with this Amex card, the Amazon card, is Amazon. That's it. The only thing that I purchase, if you go to Costco, get a Costco card. You go to, there are other cards that will give you at warehouses. Um, yeah, the platinum. Now there are other perks to some of the cards. American Express Platinum. If we're talking about travel, I don't think I put it in my spreadsheet. This is now, I don't know, $600 now a year. I don't know how much they're, because they keep on adding it. But one of the nice key features that they have is what they call the Fine Hotel and Resorts and the cruise privilege. Whenever I go personally on a cruise, I book, whether I book it for myself or I book for clients and they have the card. There's a portal that you as an agent can go to. You input the credit card information of the client. You'll get a code. After you book with Norwegian, with Royal, with, I don't know, Carnival, but Uniworld, Alma, all of these cards, all of these cruise lines have a special perk, and your client can get the perk. You don't have to be an American Express agency. That, again, we're talking now as agents, but you as an agent or you as a personal traveler can get the perks, and you can give it to your clients if they have that card. Okay, if they have the American Express Platinum or the American Express Centurion, which is the black card, they can get these perks. So for Norwegian, if I'm not mistaken, it was $100 onboard credit. It was dining for two at the French restaurant. Forgot the name.
Bistro.
La Bistro, and you got a bottle of wine or a bottle of champagne. So these three, doesn't matter. You booked it you booked any rate. You booked it with an agent. The portal for American Express, you mean? I will put it. It's called the ASD. It's American Express Service Desk. Any agent, you don't have to be American Express affiliated. You don't have to be a cruise planners or anything that is American Express. A voyage American Express. You don't need. They might get some more perks. They can be a Centurion. Centurion card holder can get a little more perks. but we manage. We figure that out. But if you have a Centurion credit card holder, you want to keep that client, you'll find a way to accommodate them. But they also get the platinum perks. So
So it's
for I'm sorry, yes,
platinum and above for the client.
platinum and above. Um, the Yes, I agree, Heather. The American Express Platinum perks for cruises is completely underutilized. You know what? If people are interested, I can do a show and tell. I can show you the portal. We can do it. It's really easy. Um, there is also the Fine Hotel and Resorts, which you also, as an agent, can book and get commission. So yeah, we started talking about credit cards, but it's a good perk for you personally if you have the card. But remember, as travel agents, you can still provide that service. By having the card doesn't mean that they can't book with travel agents, or you as a travel agent can't book and still get commission for it. So I have a Uniworld. Uniworld was $300 onboard credit plus a bottle of wine. So again, we talked about $550 in annual fee, but I had $200 as airline credit with United that I used. The Centurion card, the Delta lounges, that's with the American Express. The $100 TSA. I took my son. We did the interview. We did global entry on arrival. That's $100. Plus, I got 150,000 points when I signed up for that card, which again translates easily to $1,500. And again, they have perks. You get Uber credit every month. Now you get, which translates to Uber Eats now. So you can eat for free. Now they're giving $120 credit for streaming. So my kids now have Disney Plus, and they're like, "Well, you said that we're not gonna do because we have Hulu, we have Sling, why do we need Disney Plus?" Well, American Express gave it to you guys for free now. So streaming services now up to $20 a month included. And there was another thing that I keep forgetting, but there's tons of benefits. If you're not spending these like the $20, they only did the $20 a month because people are not utilizing the lounges and everything. But so don't try to don't spend more to actually get the perk. But these are amazing perks. And look, I probably have like maybe, I don't know, $1,500 in fees that I pay every year, but it's well worth it. How much do you have to spend the first few months? Every card has their own thing. Again, I'll share the screen again, just so you can see. But let me take ourselves off and show in the screen.
Generally, across the board, they're usually between like 2,500 to 5,000, depending on the credit card.
Yeah, there's some cards that have more, but as you can see here, the United Club has $5,000 that you need to spend within the first 3 months. The Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Marriott Bonvoy, which I didn't talk about it at all. It's 3,000, and then the others. Now, we said supermarket, but sometimes when I go to the supermarket and if I don't have enough spent that month or quarter, because I have multiple cards, I buy gift cards at the supermarket for Home Depot or for Lowe's or for a restaurant or for, yes, Corey. Well, it's not cell phones. Oh yeah, you're right. It is cell phones. So they are paying now. American Express they added another $20. So I plugged it in. I changed my form of payment now for the next 6 months with my Amex Platinum on my T-Mobile. So that's another $120 that I'm getting back, and that's a spend that I always had. So yes. Again, if I hear someone who says, "Yeah, I get cash back, I get 1%," I'm like, yeah, no.
When I go out with friends and they're whipping out their, Chase debit card, I'm like, just give me the cash and I'll use my credit card. it stuffs my heart when they are not getting the perks of it.
Look, some people, and I totally understand it. Look, there are a lot of gurus out there, financial gurus, that say keep away from credit cards. If a credit card causes you to spend more money, if you pay more than what you, um, if you spend more than what you would have because it's an easy, but if you're normally using credit cards, even on the regular payments, then not a problem. Catherine, the $5 activation, that's if you purchase a Visa card, like a Visa, MasterCard, gift card. I am purchasing a specific card. So you want Disney? You want to go to Disney? Disney cards. You purchase a Disney card, a Disney gift card, either at Target, which they're 5%, you get 5% back, or you go to supermarket. If they sell them, you get 6% back, or you use the multipliers, you get 5% plus another 2.5, 7.5% back towards travel. With Disney, if you want, you can combine the gift cards together. So you buy, sometimes they don't have like the big ones, the $500, but you bought a 50, you bought 100. You can combine them together into one main card and then use that one card. When I have a client who says, or maybe wants to save money, I'll tell them go to Target, go to something, buy gift cards, but don't come to me with 50 gift cards. I send them the link to where they can combine the cards, combine them all on one card. Because remember, if you use a gift card and then that gets canceled, specifically for Disney, goes back to the original card. So if you merge all the gift cards together into one card, and if that gets canceled, it goes back to that main card. So make sure that they merge the cards. If someone calls me, I will gladly tell them how to save 5 to 7.5% on their Disney travel, cruise, whatever. But don't come to me with 50 gift cards. I'll tell you how to do it. Spend the time. Give one of your kids to scrape them off and do it. I don't care. Come to me with 1 or 2 cards. Don't come to me with 50.
50.
So there's tons of tips. There's tons of tricks how to, and you know what, I taught my wife. I mean, she knows like what card. I'll sometimes go say, oh, what card should I now? A little, sometimes it's a little excessive, or for me a little too excessive, but and it's okay. If it's just, if I missed a category once or twice, it's okay. Sometimes we change a quarter with a 5%, and then I tell them, oh, why did you spend it? It was just okay, whatever. It's fine. But yeah, we try. I have a list. Think about it. The amount of money I told you I spend, it's in hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I get between 5 and 10% back. Sometimes even more. That's a lot of money. Now, someone mentioned that their tax advisor tells them that the fees are tax deductible. They are. The points, they're not income. The points are not income. So it is a loophole. I even had him check with the IRS how they treating points, and he's also amazed because he sees the amount of points, because I have it on a spreadsheet. I make tens of thousands of dollars with credit card points a year, and it's not an income. So if it's not income, you don't pay taxes on them. Let's see. Buy the gift cards through the Chase portal for additional savings. Yeah, possible. Again, I didn't check specifically to see how much they are giving, but I don't think you are getting more than 7.5%. Yes, there's ebates and rebates and links and affiliation links. Again, not what we're talking about. You can probably and I forgot, on the American Express you also get I forgot what it is, but you get $100 credit towards one of the fancy clothing stores. So once in a while, every 6 months, I buy myself $100 worth of fancy socks or a nice shirt for $100. Yeah, some of these spend, as I said, it's manufactured. I wouldn't pay $70 on a t-shirt. It is a
Right.
nice t-shirt, but I wouldn't spend it. But I'm already getting the benefit on so many other things, and I just make sure that I um, collect as many, utilize all of these perks, because otherwise, again, Saks. That's right, Saks Fifth Avenue. Yeah, socks for $37 or $75 a shirt. Yeah, again, I wouldn't normally, but I buy them. Maybe they're like clearance plus the whatever, but it's free. It's a I think it's $100. Yeah, I have a reminder. June next month I'm buying another shirt. So again, it's not something that I would normally purchase, but I use the 550 or 600. I probably use close to 1,000. So that's me. You don't need to go crazy like me with so many cards, but if you have the right 1, 2, 3 combo, you can make the most of it. Hey, Michelle, she joined me. See, I can see now. We can see you guys. If you click on the link, we can see the names. 120. See, I just don't have it in front of me, but you're right. So, is it 60? Is it 60 every 6 months? I think it's 60 every 6 months, something like that. Um, yeah, Corey has the American Express Platinum. I can tell you that. I don't need to check the comments. She has the Amex Platinum, and I assume she utilizes it. But yeah, I can I can qualify for thousands of dollars using the American Express Platinum, the Chase FI Reserve. Do you need both? Sometimes that's just this one gives you the priority pass. This one also gives you priority pass. This gives you the TSA. This also, so some of these benefits are doubled. But you know what, again, I had one of my kids. My kid, he's 11, he's turning 12. I think above 12 they won't get the TSA pre automatically. I
Correct.
used it. He now has 5 years of TSA global entry. When we travel together, again, it's 5 years. Use the perks, even if you're getting it only for the 1 year, for the first year. Now, again, going back a little bit about credit score. Amy, credit score
Where were you going with that part?
with the application and the points and your status and the. You know what I'm talking about? The hard. Yes,
Credit.
yes.
Yeah, so every time you apply for a new credit card, they're doing a hard pull on your credit report. So you see that. And then those stay on your credit report for 2 years. So you need to be careful with that depending on what you're looking to do. So if you're, in the process of buying a house, like you don't want to get all these hard hits for credit cards. Same thing with a car. Those are all things that, come into play. So you don't want to, leave this session and then go, apply for 27 different cards. It'll hurt your credit score. You'll see a huge drop.
Yeah. Plus, some of these, again, some advanced, the 524 rules. You can only have 5 cards with Chase within the last 24 months. There's an advanced. We can do an advanced course if someone wants to. But just make sure that I normally run about 715 points on the 850 score. Right now, because I'm not utilizing the cards as much, I'm up to 829, I think. And there are ways to you can pay before the statement hits, and then technically you'll get a statement of 0. You'll still get the points, but you'll get a statement of 0, or maybe only 10% of what you're spending, depending on what it is that you're doing. I, again, charge a lot of money every month, so it doesn't make any sense for me to prepay hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. So I don't care about my credit for that, but I can easily fix it. So if I have 2-3 months that I know that I need before a car lease or a car loan or refinance of a mortgage or whatever you're applying for, Make sure that you are aware of it. When you do apply for a card, it will hit your credit a little bit. Um, Also, again, as I've mentioned, history. So if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, we said about $550. You are not going to, and you don't travel anymore. You can convert this one into a Freedom card. You won't get the opening bonus, but you can convert it into a Freedom. It's a free card. Stick it in a drawer. Don't touch it. Why? Because credit score also looks at the history of the cards. If you have too many open new cards, it might affect the length. You need an average of about 5 years on your cards to get the ultimate one, like to get the best, that it won't affect your score at all. And if you even have a 10-year, I have one really, really old United card that I have that I converted it to a no fee. I've had it for 10 or 15 years. It just sits in a drawer. I'm not using it at all, but it keeps the average age of my cards really high.
You know,
Uh,
I did.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead.
There's the points guy, million milers. There's tons of them. I can honestly say that I've been doing this well before the points guy and everyone. I was just a little afraid to always get it out there, because if someone has so much spent on their credit cards, they won't use travel agents. There is no need to pay for travel, assuming you have a really high spend. Okay, if you run a business and you have a lot of money that rolls on your credit cards, you can utilize the points to a lot. But yes, they do have tons of information. Points guy, million milers, um, uh, tons of information. But of course, as we mentioned again, even if you saw that you can get 7.5%, you can get even more. But if you are not paying your balance in full, you are erasing anything and everything that you can make. So don't even go there. If you're not paying your cards in full, which you should, even if you haven't, whatever, you just need to pay them in full. That's the only way, because otherwise you are losing so much money. So don't do that. Um, and
One of the
yeah.
other things that I had done before too, American Express will allow you to. I'm not sure about anyone else. You can get a second card on the same account in your name. So even if you don't have a business account and you only have a personal, like I had it with my Hilton when I first started, you can run your business expenses through one card and your personal on another, so that when you get the statement, everything is already separated and it works better for your taxes versus trying to pull out, well, this was food for my house and this was an expense for the business. And they don't charge you a second fee for that.
Depends on the card, but I can tell you for the Amex Platinum, you get a gold for free. Okay, you get a gold. Now there are other cards. The American Express Gold will give you four points for groceries. There's tons of categories. There are tons of other cards out there. I just mentioned some of them. What I like, for example, I have the Marriott Bonvoy card, which is it's called the Marriott Premier. It's an old card. You can't qualify for it anymore. It's a really old card. What I like about this one, every $3,000 that you spend, you get one elite night. To qualify for platinum, you need 75 nights. So if you spend about 200,000 points, $200,000, you get qualified for platinum. I've done this quite a few times, so now I have this card, which is lifetime platinum. So now I pretty much, I don't really need it, but I used to do maybe 100, 150 nights, elite nights, and you could spend these points. I don't know if you're my friends on Facebook. Almost every Christmas we go to the Atlantis, we go to Cove, use points over Christmas. Every night is normally like $3,000 a night at the Cove. We take the suites, but we use the points. I got millions of points, and so we go prime time, Atlantis almost every year. And utilize the points, and to me that that is worth it. It's the spent and the points. I make sure that I utilize it. Um, and then with the Marriott, you also get, I think, one night free. It does have a 75 or 95 annual fee, but you get one night free for every year. So that kind of evens itself out with the perks. I don't know if I'll continue with this one right now because, again, I've hit the platinum for life, so I don't know if I really need it, but we'll see. Um, let's see. City Miles. Jan said she had the City Miles Visa card for over 25 years. When she decided to change to the Chase Sapphire, she wanted to cancel the City Miles, and the rep told her to keep the card open because, yeah. So if that card has a fee, try and see if you can convert it to another product that has no fee. But it does make sense to keep an old card. Also, the credit score, which we always go back to it calculates the amount of spent versus your open credit. So if you have $10,000 in this card, 20,000 on that one, 20, and then it counts the total amount that you have open versus how much you have. So if you have that card open with another $5,000-6,000 as credit, just you can keep it. If you're running with the same Chase, you can actually, I sometimes call them once I'm done with my Marriott, because I reached $200,000 spent that year. I call and I transfer. I have, I think, $55,000 on that one. I transfer the 55 to another card of Chase. I keep only 5,000 there. And December, at the end of December, I open it up again because I just don't. I need the high balance. So I play with it, and I open, I close some cards. I have some cards that are rotating, like the United Club. It's free for the first year, but the next one is 550. I'm not gonna keep that one for sure. I'll either get the Explorer or I'll dump this card and I'll pick something else. Maybe now it's time to move to a Hyatt or a Hilton or something else. But I won't keep it. Let's see. Amy, anything to add? And if anyone has any questions, let us know.
Just on what you had just said, when I had done the major switch from Hilton over to Delta, I actually called American Express, and it took several phone calls, but they moved my available credit from Hilton over to Delta. Because, when you first get the card, you may not have a huge credit limit. And I had such a big one with Hilton and knew I wasn't going to be using that card. So they eventually moved it over. And like you said, then my spend wasn't so close to what the limit was.
Right. But again, they are looking at the total limit that you have across all the cards versus the total spent that you have on all the cards. So it's okay. But it just, again, for me, it's just I don't want to call I don't want to make payments during the middle of the month.
Right.
You said something called, okay, annual fees. If you have a high spend, or if you are using one specific card and you're spending quite enough money on it, they have what they called retention bonuses. I don't know if you tried it, Amy, because I open and close cards quite often. Every year, I have a reminder, and the annual fee hits my account. I call, and I tell them, hello, I'm thinking about canceling my card. And be honest, like they're asking why. I'm saying, I don't want to. I don't want to pay the annual fee. I have 10 cards. I have 20 cards, but they'll tell you, oh, but the United disc gives you 1, 2, 3. I said, I'm gold for life with United. I'm platinum for life with Marriott. These perks are not whatever. I do spend a lot of money. You guys, Chase, are probably getting enough money percentage from me. Incentivize me to keep the card, or I'll just transfer the spend. I have an American Express. I have the whatever. You want to do it, great. You don't want to do it, it's fine. Be ready to cancel the card, okay? Don't play chicken, because I've had a few situations where I played chicken and I lost. So I can tell you maybe 75% of the time it works. 25%, they're like, okay, canceled, bye. Okay. So be ready to cancel the card if you are thinking about it. So don't sometimes, again, you have to have a high spend, a decent amount of spend $25,000 on the card a year for them to think about it. They are making 1 to 3% merchant fees. Now, if you're doing only with Chase, they'll know that you're just going to use another card. They might not, but if you're kind of sharing and they know that you're using other banks as well. Yeah. Michelle is asking if you had the Centurion, if you ever had the Centurion card, if you had the black card. I can tell you that I got the application. Well, to get the Centurion card, you need to spend a little over $500,000 on non-business related transactions. I tried. I tried on the Amex Platinum Personal to see if I can get it. I kept the letter. I have a letter saying that I was invited to join, but they want $15,000 initiation fee plus I think it was $7,500 a year annual fee. Now there are perks. There are nice perks, but I don't think I can justify. It is nice. It is nice, but it's also nice. You can. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you drop the platinum cards, it can impress a little bit of people, and with the black it does. But it's because I have some friends who have it, but it doesn't. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It just doesn't. I mean, it's a status card. You need to have a lot of money. Just laying around. So no, I don't see myself getting the Centurion. It was an achievement to get the invitation to join, which I kept. I'll find it. Maybe I'll scan it, and it's a bragging rights. But I don't see myself paying $20,000 to have.
Where does that initiation fee go?
Where does it go? I don't know. They just it's just this the fee. Like, I mean, it comes in a nice thing, and I don't know, it's like a box. I think I have it, like a nice wooden box. Even the invitation comes really nice wooden box of the invitation. You open it up, it's gold, whatever. Like, yeah, no, not this guy's not paying you $20,000. There is a limit. There is a limit. Call them and ask to lower the rate. Catherine, what we are talking about is I don't care what the rate and you mean the rate, the annual fee? Oh, so if the annual fee, well, they won't deduct. It's a little bit silly because they won't deduct the fee. They won't give you a credit. Well, they'll give you a credit. They won't reduce the fee. So I've had multiple on the United and Marriott cards. Let's say the fee is $95. I will call and they will say, "I'm sorry, I can't waive the fee, but I can give you $100 statement credit." Like, okay. So you're giving me $5? Sure, I'll keep it. Will that change your mind? Will you be interested? Yeah, why not? I mean, the only reason why because I didn't want to pay it. So they're not reducing the fee, but they'll give you a statement credit that sometimes will cover even more than the card itself. I don't get it. Yeah, $15,000 is tax deductible. I can pay the $15,000 towards a nice computer, a nice desk. Maybe I need yeah, no. If you have $15,000 just as a tax deduction, look, my birthday is coming up really soon in a couple of weeks. I'll send you a letter for our PTA that is tax deductible that you can claim that $15,000 as a deduction. I'll gladly accept it. So yeah, no.
Crazy.
Yeah. And the tax deductible only means that you're not paying taxes on that amount. You're not getting the full amount back. Okay. You're only getting that 10 to 30% depending on what your tax bracket is. Okay, but that was funny. That was funny. Who wrote it? Where was it? Because I can't see. It only says
User.
it says I can't see. Oh, Becky. Okay, yeah, Becky. No. Becky, click on the link. So we'll see your name for the next time. Okay. I think we're good. I think we had some fun. We talked about travel is one thing. Credit cards and points are like my second. I don't know what else. I got poker is one that I love to talk about, and now stocks. Oh my god, yeah, the stock market is now another thing. So we'll get to all the things that I like to talk about.
I could use a lesson on that. I'll be on.
Well, maybe we'll get on that again. With everything has to be a disclaimer. We're not no finance and I don't know taxes. It seems like taxes and credit scores are also a thing. So. No, I'm not. We are not financial advisors. We are not CPAs. We are not attorneys. No recommendation for. And you've noticed that I haven't spoke about anything that is no zero APRs or something. Why? Because I don't believe in the balance. Like if you don't have, just don't. I yeah. I just don't do balance transfers. Pay it in full. I don't care about that zero. And my stocks are actually doing pretty well. Well, maybe we'll talk about it.
Like that's the stuff I want to see.
Oh, what travel stocks I've purchased? All of them, I think. No, not all of them. I have some Southwest. I have some Carnival. I have some Norwegian, Royal, Expedia. Oh, we'll get to it. And yeah. I have Elise is not here on the line. Me and Elise, we it's slow. Buy now, buy now. So we'll do something about that maybe. Okay. I don't see any questions. I really hope we helped you guys. I will post if anyone wants. When I post it on YouTube, I'll also put some of we call them referral links. If you have that card, and you'll see it on the million milers and all these points guys, they have what they call affiliation links. If you use the link, then if it's my card or Amy, we get a bonus. You guys get a bonus. So if you want, utilize it. But when you click on the link, just make sure that there are no other better bonuses out there. Okay, because sometimes the affiliation link, again, if you're using even the points guy or ours or whatever, then sometimes the promotion is not as good as if you go directly with Chase or American Express. So double check, verify that you're not losing anything. But if it's the same, I'm sure Amy and myself would love it if you use our affiliation links. We'll get some points. We get like $100 or whatever. And then we'll talk. We'll maybe do some stocks, and then yes, you get perks, you get onboard credits. Maybe we'll get to that. So Amy, thank you for spending my time and my crazy passion for credit cards. I'm hoping to hear that you'll have your fourth card really soon.
Oh yes, I'm on it.
Okay, perfect. We'll see you guys all next week, I guess. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.